Hello there. This is going to be a video on chapter 1 of this Kaplan book, the General Chemistry Review for the MCAT 2025-2026 edition. We are working on the very first section, subatomic particles. This should be a very short video if you have any background in chemistry. So let's get started. First things first, we got an atom, right? What is an atom? That is the fundamental unit of life. So we got unit of, well, I should say unit of matter, right? Matter is life, life is matter, whatever. Unit of matter. And then within the atom, we're going to divide that up into protons, neutrons, and electrons. So these are all circles, but the difference between the circles, right, are going to be the charges on them. We got positive for proton, P for positive, neutron, neutral, so there's no charge. And then we got electrons, which if you guessed it, it's going to be a negative, right? So if this is P is for positive, electrons is going to be, well, there's no N, right? I don't know, just negative, okay? Remember that. It's not too hard. Neutron, neutral, so not neither positive nor negative. Now these two right here are going to be found in the nucleus. Nucleus, if you don't know what that is how do I explain it? The nucleus is just a little ball in the center with these neutrons and protons, right? So we got protons, neutrons, neutron, proton, proton, right? It's a little ball. They clump up here. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's good enough for me. And then that's in the center of the atom. This is a nucleus right here. On the outside of the nucleus, we're gonna have electrons, and they're gonna be floating outside the nucleus, so away from the nucleus. We have electrons here floating. Look, guys, I'm not the best teacher, so bear with me. They're floating around there, okay? Now, we classify these. This is an atom, by the way. So all this together is one atom. An atom is going to be the fundamental unit of life, of matter. It's going to have all the electrons, protons, and neutrons. This is going to be an atom right here. Now, each atom, you might recognize it from the periodic table of elements. This is my periodic table of elements. Each element is going to be an atom. Protons have a mass of 1 AMU. I guess that's important, right? Here's another thing, right? We're talking about atomic number. So the atomic number is going to be this number right here. If you look at the periodic table, the atomic number should be right there. This is the number of protons. This is going to define an element. Then 2 is all the way over here. 2. So helium has 2 protons. Hydrogen has 1 proton. Lithium has 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Isotopes. These are going to be related to the neutron. Neutron, right? Jimmy Neutron. Different number of neutrons for the same element. Boom. So these are isotopes, different number of neutrons for the same element. So let's see. So if the hydrogen is number 1, right? This is how many protons it has. Protons. And normally, if it's a neutral atom, it'll be equal. The protons will be equal to the neutrons. Carbon is 6, right? So the atomic number is going to be denoted with a Z. Atomic number is denoted with a Z. Z. The atomic number is the number of protons. So for carbon, for example, carbon has how many? This is the Z number right here, 6. 6 is the carbon. So for carbon, we got 6. Z equals 6 for carbon. Now, this top number is going to be the mass number. Mass number is A. And we're gonna write what is it? So for C, this is carbon. We're gonna have A on the top and Z on the bottom. Alright? So Z is the atomic number. Carbon has 6 protons. So we're gonna write C 6. A is the mass number. So normally the protons and the neutrons should be equal to each other. So that would be 12, right? 6 protons plus 6 neutrons equals 12. This is where we got that 12 from. Now in an isotope, we'll have 13 or 11. Let's talk about valence electrons. Valence electrons. Valence electrons are going to be the electrons on the outermost shell. So what does that mean? We got the nucleus in the middle, right? This is the nucleus with all the positive protons and the neutral neutrons, right? This is the proton, the nucleus. And then on the outside, we got these shells, right? This is like an atom. The electrons are going to be here, right? They're moving around, they're negative. The furthest shell from the nucleus, which is this guy right here, this one is going to be the valence, where the valence electrons are. Valence electrons are here. So these are valence electrons, right? Not these. These are not valence electrons. These are valence electrons. Not this one. This one. Not this one. This one. All right. Cations and anions. So in overall, when you look at the bigger picture, you zoom out. If, for example, carbon has a positive, that's going to be a cation, right? How do we remember this? Cation is positive because of this T here. And then anion is negative. How do we know that? Because this prefix an is like anti. I don't know. That's how I think of it. An is a prefix that means the opposite or whatever. Right? The opposite of positive is negative. So that's how I remember it. I don't know if that's good for you guys, but whatever. So good luck. This video was my first video, so hopefully it's not too bad.